Hey there, Knicks fans. Harris Rubenstein here from NBA Weekly. As we get closer and closer to the official start of the offseason, there are plenty of New York Knicks news and rumors to break through. So without further ado, let's get right into some fresh Knicks rumors from this past week. All right, let's get into our Knicks rumors roundup. Let's start with our first one. Do the Knicks love Michael Porter Jr.? Well, like we do with most draft prospects and teams, we're going to give this one 2 crying Jordan heads. People are talking. Now, we're not going to give this one 3 or 4 heads quite yet because as of right now, only some in the Knicks front office love Michael Porter Jr., but it is pretty unlikely at this point that he's going to be on the board at number 9 overall when the Knicks end up selecting. We've also heard that they're interested in Duke power forward and center Wendell Carter Jr., so it wouldn't be too surprising if Carter's on the board at 9. But when it comes to Michael Porter Jr., I just can't really see him being on the board at number 9 overall, even though he missed most of the season after needing spinal surgery. He had a really rough back injury that he had to miss most of the season for. He came back for the SEC tournament and for March Madness and just didn't quite look the same. And obviously, if you don't play basketball for the whole year, you're not really going to be at the top of your game. But it'd be a great pick for the Knicks. But if they're going to want him, I think they're going to have to trade up for him. He's going to be an expensive get for sure. Definitely a top 5 pick as we stand right now. All right, before we get any further, let me break down exactly what my rumor meter is. If there's no crying Jordans, it's a Mutombo finger wag. Get that stuff out of here. It is fake news. 1 crying Jordan head, it's a small shred of truth, about a 25% chance. 2 crying Jordans, people are talking about a 50-50% shot that this rumor goes down. 3 crying Jordans, it's pretty likely, about a 75% chance of this one. And then finally, 4 crying Jordans, bang. This one is fact. This is 100% true. All right, let's get into our next Knicks rumor. Do the Knicks like Mikal Bridges over Miles Bridges? Well, we're going to give this one 3 crying Jordan heads. Not quite going to give it 4 just yet because, again, these are just reports for now. Nothing is official. But as of yesterday, the Knicks, quote, have Mikal ranked ahead of Miles Bridges. And this is consistent with what we reported last week that the Knicks like Mikal. I think they like his overall safety and his even upside. I think that they like that Miles Bridges has a higher upside, but Mikal Bridges is definitely the safer pick. I think he's a quintessential 3-and-D kind of player. He's not going to kill you. He's going to be a successful NBA player no matter what. But neither of them have worked out privately for the Knicks yet, so we can't quite give this one 4 heads. But Mikal Bridges would be a great player for the Knicks. He would fit right into their system. He can really fit into any system across the NBA. I would say that a good player comp for him is around Otto Porter, but not Otto Porter when he came out of the draft. I'm talking Otto Porter right now. He has a little bit better of an offensive game and a little bit more of a style and a jump shot. I think that Mikal Bridges is also a better 3-point shooter, so it would definitely be a good pick overall for the Knicks, Whether or not they actually go ahead with it is another question, because this next rumor that we have is very, very interesting. Are the Knicks intrigued by Lonnie Walker in the draft, the guard coming out of Miami? Well, we're going to give this one 2 crying Jordan heads for now. People are talking. So Lonnie Walker is an interesting player coming out of Miami. Didn't have the best season last year, but as of right now, he's met with multiple teams inside the top 10, and the Knicks are interested and have reached out to his camp. I don't think this is 100% true in terms of them actually wanting to pick him based off the rumor that I'm going to show you guys next. I mostly say that because I think the Knicks are trying to entice a team to trade up in the draft. Them being interested in Lonnie Walker goes against a lot of what we've heard so far with the Knicks. This might be making them try to say to the Los Angeles Clippers, hey, if you want Lonnie Walker, give us your 2 first-round picks to move up, and maybe we'll strike a deal. But for me, I'm only going to give this one 2 heads because based off our next rumor, this doesn't make a ton of sense. And our next rumor says, and this one, again, this one really kind of goes ahead with how I just can't see how them being interested in a point guard works, because our next rumor, are the Knicks unlikely at this point to draft a point guard? And guys, based off what I'm hearing, I'm giving this one 3 crying Jordan heads. This is pretty likely. So if you're wondering, oh, Harris, we just talked about Lonnie Walker, where is this coming from? Well, according to Sportsnet New York, which is a pretty credible news site, the Knicks are focusing on taking a wing or a big man and will even take a point guard if Trae Young or Colin Sexton are on the board when they pick at number 9 overall. So this is a really interesting rumor, seeing as obviously coming off the Lonnie Walker rumor, the fact that we told you last week that they were interested in Trae Young. But I think that this makes a lot of sense with how the team is going. They have 3 good guards that David Fizdale has met with in Frank Ntilikina and Emmanuel Mudiay, along with Trey Burke, who they brought on at the end of last year. So we'll see what happens with this rumor, but this makes a lot of sense based off of what else we've heard this offseason. I think the Knicks are going to go with a wing, and if Mikal Bridges is on the board at that point, I think that's who they're going to end up taking, or Mikal Bridges, excuse me. All right, let's go to number 5. Is Kristaps pumped for this season? Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks fans at home, I'm sure you're happy to hear this one. 4 crying Jordan heads. Kristaps Porzingis is indeed pumped for this season. He tweeted out yesterday saying that he had a conversation with Coach David Fizdale and that he is pumped for the season to get underway. His exact tweet was, quote, "Just had a great conversation on the phone with Coach Fizz. Man, I'm excited. Let's go." Multiple exclamation points, including 2 diamonds in orange and blue, obviously the Knicks color. So this is consistent with what we reported last week again, that David Fizdale wanted to talk to him and chat about this upcoming season. He talked with KP's brother and his agent last week as well, so this isn't crazy surprising to hear that they ended up talking, but I'm inspired to hear that Kristaps is excited for this season just because we know that he's clashed with the Knicks coaching staff and front office in the past. I think it's important for young players to have good relationships with their head coaches, so if Kristaps Porzingis is indeed pumped for this season, then I think we're going to have a really, really fun year. But speaking of Kristaps Porzingis, don't get mad at me. I'm simply the messenger. Did the Knicks almost trade Kristaps Porzingis to the Suns last year at the draft? We're giving this one 3 crying Jordan heads. This is pretty likely. Now, I'm not giving this one 4, but this is coming from Adrian Wojnarowski, and this was quite the waj bomb, saying that, quote, "I thought Phoenix had a chance to get KP for the number 4 overall pick." He went on to say that Porzingis wasn't super enthusiastic about Phoenix and what his future would have been there. They wanted to re-sign him to an extension, so I get showing some restraint there. So this is where it kind of comes to terms with, all right, maybe the Suns wanted to trade for him, but I don't think Kristaps Porzingis actually wanted to be traded to the Phoenix Suns. It would have been a nice move for the Suns, but overall, I could never see this actually ending up happening. Just the trade package maybe would have been, I don't know, Kristaps Porzingis plus, or Kristaps for the number 4 overall pick and a couple young players, but I think it would have been too expensive on both sides. But yes, indeed, the Knicks almost traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Phoenix Suns for the number 4 overall pick. But that's going to do it for your Knicks Rumors Roundup. We'll see you back in a second. That's going to do for me today. Remember to subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube so you can get a notification whenever we have some fresh New York Knicks content for you. You can also follow me on Twitter @SportsTeam for all your NBA news and updates. But for now, we'll see ya.